No
Right,
microtransactions.
well.
That's what I mean.
No battle pass.
It's a but
no
it's a
future
feature.
monetization. They just die, exit stage left.
The gameplay is really nice. Right, no.
I know you love them.
What are you
worse than
talking
discs.
about? What are you talking about?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to We Are Error Episode 2.
We
Feels
Are
good to
Error.
be saying back. Feels good to be saying back as I am joined by Sam Augustin
Yo.
and Nathan Gillybeard again.
Hello.
Hello,
This
everyone.
week we are covering EA Squadrons news. We are also covering a new Crash Bandicoot.
Oh,
Skate 4 has been announced, and Last of Us 2.
Of course.
Is it as bad as what everyone says it is?
well.
We'll get into all of that later on, and to finish it all off, we've got a console tier list. You won't want to miss that. Sparks will fly, friendships will be lost, but we'll get content, so it's worth it. But anyway, starting out, Star Wars Squadron. We talked about it last week for IGN Summer of Games. They've come out with more news based on it now.
All right.
So we saw a gameplay trailer, and I'll say I was personally wowed by the trailer. It looks really good. Star Wars fans are going to really enjoy the fact that they have done a bit of fan service and brought Hera from Star Wars Rebels to the game, which is what people are going to be enjoying. I know I saw a couple comments in the chat that were just all caps Hera. So, but EA have confirmed that they're doubling down on their Disney partnership with Star Wars. Because we know they were really close to losing it when they got the hassle from Battlefront 2 on its
I
release.
wish,
Oh,
I wish
really?
they had lost it. I wish they had lost it.
Yeah.
They've fucked up. They've fucked up. I would say like at least 3, 4 maybe potentially awesome titles that they've just pissed away.
Yeah.
I'd say
You
for
know,
Battlefront 1, they didn't piss away 2, they did fix 2.
Well,
So I'd say
Battlefront 1 was. Meh.
Battlefront 1 was missing content. Battlefront 2
It
was
wasn't.
AIDS at launch,
I
but
think
has
it-
fixed itself.
Yeah, I still need to play Battlefront 2, to be honest.
they don't do themselves any favors by just they'll put certain microtransactions on certain games and then they'll turn them off for others and then they make it a feature and that shouldn't be the case. It should just be all games. You're
This
either
is
gonna
funny
do
you
it
should-
or you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's funny you should mention that. EA have confirmed there will be no microtransactions for Star Wars Squadrons. No microtransactions.
Right, well.
That's what I mean.
No battle pass.
It's a fi- yeah, but it's
no
a
future
feature.
monetization.
They're selling it as a feature though, and it shouldn't be a feature.
But they are saying that this game is going to be more like what we want from games, in which everything is unlockable by playing. You cannot pay for anything.
Why?
They've
why are
said
we
there is
supposed
no
to-
way.
What,
of
have
paying
they
this
actually,
game.
like, clarified it in an interview? Like, it's actual.
I'll read this from IGN. EA Star Wars games currently in the pipeline include the recently revealed Star Wars Squadron, a starfighter simulator in which you conduct space battles in a variety of iconic Star Wars ships. You can check out the article here. That the game is being developed by EA Motive and will be available on VR platforms, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. The game launched October 2nd this year. The game will not feature microtransactions.
Wow.
That means
but-
all things. They've confirmed no battle pass,
Why-
no microtransactions.
Yeah, but-
They have explicitly said
Chris.
that they are only doing progress through experience.
Chris, like, why all of a sudden do you trust them now? They said they're not going to do it.
Yeah, in it. They could just go back on
my-
all what they've
years
said.
ago.
My
like-
opinion on EA is that they have gotten better after Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2, when they nearly lost their Star Wars license, they have started to become a much
what's
better
sad?
company. EA
You know what-
Sports, we push it to the side, we ignore that.
You know what? Yeah, but you know what's like ridiculous about the whole thing is, right? Basically, you've got EA, and they've got all these. They're basically like Disney. They just gobble up all these like different names, and they don't even do it with that.
No,
Just
yeah,
leave
they.
them, you know. And it's like all of a sudden they bring out this game, which is what the fifth, let's say the fourth Star Wars game that potentially could
Fourth.
still be shit, right? Why is all of a sudden the people trusting them and saying,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like they've got the worst track record in probably gaming history, in terms of ripping their customers off, but people keep going back, and I don't understand why. Like I can't understand why people keep going back. Is it the games?
Well,
I would
they've
say
got
this,
a
really.
strong, like, EA Sports has a strong fan base, doesn't it? Even though the games
Yeah.
are shit, they have a strong fan base. They know they're gonna sell FIFA every year, and they're gonna sell a lot of it. So the people that are gonna go back are the people who are hardcore fans. Like, for instance, Skate 4. I'm excited for that. I'm a hard fan of that. But any other game
Yeah.
from EA, I shrug it
That's
off.
what I mean.
But here's the thing, right? So all the games that you were really like referencing in that were the games in which EA have the publisher have meddled in, right? They don't make bad games, but they make games that are really they have a big hand in with the publisher. The publisher's got their hand in, but they have said in an interview that Disney is very committed to the IP and the canon, which means that Disney will be the ones that have their hands in things, and they do not want a repeat of Battlefront 2, because we saw they nearly pulled their license from how Battlefront 2 went. So I'm thinking, and also when it comes to their Star Wars games, they've made, including Squadrons will be their fifth. So they've made Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2, Galaxy of Heroes, and then they've made Jedi Fallen Order. Battlefront 1 was bad. Battlefront 2 launched bad but became good. Galaxy of Heroes is a mobile game. It's made for mobile audiences. We will naturally push it away just because we're not that audience. And Jedi Fallen Order was objectively a good game. So I believe that I'm believing more in Disney than I am believing in EA.
I have a lot of faith in Disney, to be honest. As a company, I've loved Disney since a very young age, and to be honest, like all the new remakes of the films from Disney, although Kingdom Hearts 3, even though it's Square Enix, Disney had more of a bigger part, in my opinion, on that game. But I have faith in Disney. They do they do the best animation. They're like the kings, the pinnacle of animation. But yeah, I have faith if they're in partnership with them for Squadrons. Yeah. And the thing is, the Star Wars films as well are not. It's very like a lot of people say that the new Star Wars films aren't that good. They are a bit wild, but I quite like them. They're entertaining. Yeah, they're entertaining.
I wasn't the biggest fans of a couple of them, but yeah, it's a good. It's exciting to see that EA are actually turning things around if they stick to what they have said. If they stick to what they've said, EA will have turned themselves around with this, in my opinion.
All I'll say is we'll see.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, but for our next story, Crash 4. They've this is a new game. This isn't like Insane Trilogy, which is remaking. This is
It's
a whole new Crash
game. Excited.
Right.
And the subtitle is About Time, which is a funny play on words with how people have been wanting a new Crash game for quite a while now.
This has to
what
be
are your
good.
thoughts?
This has to be good, because if it's not good, it's literally been the longest time ever. And sorry, that's me. It's literally been the longest time ever, right? And yeah, it's got to be right. If it's not right,
yeah. I'm not gonna.
I've got high hopes, because, like I said, it has to be right in order for it to just this series carry on.
It's
like,
still Naughty Dog.
Toys for Bob.
The thing is, the game. What I was looking today.
Let me see.
Oh, is that
They are,
Spyro?
developed by wait. It says explained how Toys for Bob understood the expectations. It's Toys for Bob's. Toys for
Right.
Bob, not
Yeah. I was gonna say, I thought, yeah, they shifted away. I think I can't remember who bought the Crash license, but I think they shifted away from that.
Right. Well,
Naughty Dog.
I think. Well, it looks odd to me.
I like the look of it.
Describe odd.
Like, it doesn't. With Crash, yeah, it's for me it's nostalgia, and I know games obviously are evolving all the time, but it doesn't give me that nostalgic value that I was looking for in it. I'm not gonna lie,
that's a good thing.
I'm going to get it,
Yeah.
but just on first sight, it just looks a bit odd to me. It didn't give me that feeling like the Insane Trilogy gave me, you know. Probably because it's the remake of the 1, 2, and 3, but
Yeah.
I would argue that not having that same like nostalgic vibe is a good thing, because it means they're trying new things with the series.
Yeah.
You have played
Definitely.
Crash 1, 2, and 3 at least 6 times now. So
yeah.
give them a break. Try out this new one. You seem to be having like Rayman 3. I'm getting a vibe of Rayman 3 off this level. Like, you know, in Rayman 3 you go in between the levels and you've got that rhythm, not rhythm game, but that music piece.
Yeah.
I'm liking that. This also embraces Crash's wacky side, how it's not a game that's meant to be taken seriously, and levels like these will be a nice breakup on the pace.
Yeah.
And they Crash does have some of the most unique boss fight series.
Yeah.
So
It gives the
I know
developer
I'm looking.
a chance to
As
keep
as a person that's not played Crash a lot, I am looking forward to this.
Good.
They're definitely embracing a wacky side, and then it's like you see the title is "It's About Time." They're taking the piss.
Yeah. It's a decent name.
The only thing I don't quite like is that it is being priced at $60, but that's more of the fact of I don't like that as an industry standard. Not just it's not just these developers doing it.
It's all
This will be Sony or whatever their publisher is telling them it has to be a $60 release.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it.
Yes.
Always, I'm a hardcore fan of Crash. Like I'm going to play it.
Switch. You're gonna get the Switch release, I'm guessing.
Probably, yeah.
Is it coming into Switch?
I think it's coming for all parts, is it?
No mention of Switches.
Oh wow.
There's a mention of Xbox and Sony. There is no mention of Switch.
Well, it might be a next gen.
It might be they haven't got the licensing sorted out yet for that.
Yeah, true.
Because it is more of a
It's
hassle
more-
to develop games for the Switch than it is to develop them for PS4 and Xbox One. Because if you develop a game for PS4, you can develop it for Xbox One easily. Switch,
Oh, yeah.
you have to work around it and mess around with things and
Yeah.
downscale stuff.
Yeah.
So, Switch port is probably likely, but down the line.
Yeah.
I'd rather they focus on making it as good as possible rather than focus on getting it on as many systems as possible.
Yeah, making it a nice game, not having to optimize it down to a low level console, even though it isn't. Switch is a very good console, but compared to your next gen, yeah.
Sam, save that for later, bro. We're going to be talking about how good the Switch is later.
Oh.
Right. Yep. Crash 4.
Yeah.
Is it worth getting hyped for it? I would say yes, it is.
Yeah,
Company has a proven track record.
Yeah.
The screenshots are saying it's looking good. I think it's something to keep your eye on.
Yeah,
So,
I'm looking forward to it more than Squadrons.
yo, my forehead is so shiny.
Man, I've been out in the sun.
You've got more lighting today, Chris. Did you get?
No, it's just because IGN's website's white.
No,
My YouTube's in that mode.
no, that's Chris's natural complexion.
Go.
Anyway, Skate 4. Skate 4 is released. People have been clambering for this game for years now.
Right,
Not 10 years, but years.
I'm gonna be this guy. I don't like Skate.
Oh,
You don't have to be this guy. Sam has to be the guy because I'm not a big fan of Skate.
Well, I am a big fan of Skate from the very beginning. It's just that it's got a fun factor. Like, I'm not playing for the fact it's good graphics or the physics in the game are correct, which they are completely off. It's just got a really nice fun factor, and I'm a big fan of skateboarding, so to me, I'm looking forward to it. I've been waiting for this one since the Skate 3, since I clocked Skate 3, so yeah.
When I say I'm not looking forward to it, that doesn't mean I don't want the game to be released. I'm not interested in the game. It just means I'm not going to get hyped to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm more hyped for Tony Hawk's.
That also.
I'm guessing. Yeah, that Tony. Yeah, I mean that's what we're gonna say. I prefer more of an arcadey style.
Yeah.
Skate for me
Skate went
has
for the realism. I know.
It's like that's. Yeah.
Skate for me has always been a game that's like people are enjoying it because it's a buggy mess, and I fundamentally do not like games that sell on the fact that their bugs are funny.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Todd Howard. Fix Skyrim. You've had 7 releases to try it. Fix your game.
Yeah, like with skate in general, it's like you said, it doesn't have the arcade factor. It's targeted more at people who, I would definitely say, people who are into skateboarding, because the technical side of it is very on point. It's very realistic in terms of skateboarding, but for a game. It's just fun. There's not special about it. It's just a really fun game to play. And like Chris said, the bugs in the game make the game that little bit better. I love bugs in games. I think it gives it a bit of something.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer like the game. When you say it's fun, I see that as like it's gonna be 50 seconds ish.
Right?
I see about 50 seconds of fun. Not 50 seconds. That's being hard.
50 seconds of fun.
You play it for
Not even long.
My mind was split between looking through this video to see if they showed anything extra, but no. I see it's about 2 hours of fun, and then you take a break from the game. Whereas Tony Hawk is a game that you just play for hours and hours and hours, and then, oh god, it's 4 a.m. You know, it's not. Skate has never been that game for me.
Shouldn't be comparing the two, I guess, though, because they're both different.
They are both
games.
skateboarding games.
No, but
Do it in a different direction. They both go in the opposite direction, which I think is good for the market and good for us because we get to experience double the amount of skateboarding games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good that it exists because it means people that didn't like Tony Hawk's play style have an alternative. But Tony Hawk's play style
some of that they have in common though,
and for a reason.
Some of that they have in common is it's got a very good couch co-op capabilities. Like Tony Hawk's, you got your 2-player, and then Skate has your horse. So you pass the pad, someone sets a trick. They've got that in common, which I like. I think a lot of games still need to have the couch co-op vibe because it brings friends together and
this
splits
is EA.
friends up.
This is EA. This is the publisher that said. Oh no, they did say single player games were dead, but they also don't like couch co-op. They do just prefer online.
Yeah,
if we see online horse and stuff like that, that would be cool.
It's EA.
But other more news coming from it is they have confirmed that this, because people were concerned originally, this isn't a mobile game. People were concerned that this was going to be a mobile game.
What, Skate 4?
They've confirmed that Skate. We don't know if it's Skate 4, but we do know it's not a Skate mobile game. It could be a Skate remake. It could be a Skate spin-off, but we just know it's not a mobile game. We know it's going to be for Xbox, PlayStation, hopefully PC. But
I can't see a PC release.
I can. It's EA. EA have just moved everything to Steam. They are heavily investing into PC nowadays. So
You are right,
I don't know.
Chris.
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking to buy it.
You're looking forward to seeing how it does.
Yeah, more competition is good because then we are less likely to get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want a remake of that. We don't want a rerun of that. But next on the list, Last of Us 2. This has been a very controversial release, as you can see by this magic red number here. 4.2 user score, 69,000 nice reviews.
Yeah, but it's IGN.
What's going on with this game? This isn't IGN, this is Metacritic. So this is all reviewing companies on the left at 95, and then people that have user reviews on the right. So this is how people that got paid to review the game reviewed it, and this is how people that didn't get paid to review it.
We shouldn't really talk about why the games probably will mention what they've said, because there's probably contain spoilers.
Yeah, so we're going to try our best to avoid spoilers.
Yeah, limit the spoilers.
I've looked heavily into the reviews. I spoiled it all for myself because I didn't play the first one, so I wasn't really invested in the story. But I have been looking at what people have been saying that were invested in the story, and the general consensus I have found is that the game handles death very badly in this game.
Well,
the game very badly handles death. They'll kill a character and not talk about them at all for the rest of the game. The character will have no impact on Ellie or Joel. They just die, exit stage left. No, we won't even talk about them. They never existed. That's the consensus I'm getting. And it does make a bit of sense. It does make a bit of sense because Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann, they're known for weaving really good tales about characters and story and worlds.
Yeah.
But they haven't really tackled character death all that much in their games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like even in the first one when Ellie's No, is it Joel's daughter? I think
Joel's daughter dies in the first one. Spoilers if you haven't played Last
well,
of Us
it's
1.
way past. If it's been spoiled,
7 years
it's
old.
way past. I think in that game he might mention her after her death twice, at most, maybe once.
But she isn't a major character.
No,
and you can see by playing the game that he is projecting onto Ellie. That's very much what's happening in the game.
Yeah.
There is none of that. It's like they never existed once they've died. They die, they exit.
Yeah,
They
well,
die, exit stage left. They never were around.
I agree.
Maybe there's something coming up next. I don't know.
Maybe, but it's like they also.
Well, I've heard some. I've heard some fucked. So I'm just.
They make a character really, really hated, and then you never see that person. You never give that person a comeuppance. They get comeuppance, but I think seeing a character get comeuppance in cutscenes is very different to giving them comeuppance.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, if you're gonna make a character hated, then you want the player should have the option to, get their own revenge. But they very much go with a narrative that doesn't really work, I'll say.
Yeah.
But again, all right. So my thing with Metacritic reviews is 14,000 of these reviews at least weren't by people that played the game because they were out before people had the chance to finish the game. So I looked more at IMDb's, which gives it a much more positive, a much better look, because there's also going to be a part of this game is going to perform worse than it actually is, it's going to be reviewed worse than it actually is, just because it's following up the first Last of Us.
Yeah, which is a big step.
6.5 out of 10.
That's not all that bad.
Reviews.
It's not that bad.
It's not bad. It just means it's an average game.
Just over average, isn't it?
Yeah, just over average.
I would say about in terms of games reviewing, I would say about 7 is a good game, 6 is an average game. So it's midway between them two. I've seen complaints that the gameplay hasn't evolved. It's the exact same.
I like
it's a shame. That's a real missed. That's a missed opportunity. There's nothing different. I think they should have added to it because Last of Us 1's gameplay wasn't very good.
It was very good.
From the opinions I saw is that Last of Us 1 had very average gameplay. And Last of Us 2 has the exact same stuff.
Man, you're wrong. I played that game.
I played that 3 times.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. I'm going off of reviews from people like Moist Critical here.
Yeah, I played it. I think 3 times, maybe 3 times, 2 fully, and a third time partway through. But I think the gameplay is really good. It plays really nice. You feel like you're shooting these people.
It's slow, but
it's pretty messed up.
Real life, man.
Yeah, I do. I feel like the gameplay didn't need much tweaking, to be honest. I think it didn't need to be fixed. Don't fix what's not broken.
I would argue that when you're doing a sequel, you should at least try to add to everything and make it better than the original in every way. Like Halo 2. Halo 2 evolved on Halo. Halo 1 had amazing gameplay. Halo 2 added to that and, in my opinion, made it better with the dual wielding.
But with Halo games, it's like a roller coaster. Like the games get bigger and then they just fucking go downhill.
we don't talk about it 4 onwards. 4 doesn't exist.
But Last of Us, like apart from the gameplay, it's very story driven.
Yeah.
And the game's the story's so immersive, you're sucked into them characters and stuff. So I feel like they might have just tried doing the story and making it more immersive, and because like I said, the gameplay doesn't need outdoing to it, so they might have just focused more on the development of the characters. And I think the game 1 especially was really good, so I'm looking forward to playing it. I was talking to my friend today, and he said he's 8 hours in, and he's loving it. He said he's loving it.
No, I'm not saying the game is bad, but what I am saying is it's struggling to live up to the hype.
Yeah, it was always gonna struggle though.
It was never gonna not struggle.
We've got someone in chat saying Halo 2 wins, which is right. Halo 2, big boy game.
Head of its game, mate. Head of its time.
Oh yeah.
It was unbelievable online.
Yeah.
But
Fun was.
that
Jeez.
that's a nice segue to our next topic, though, of what have we been playing this week? What games have we been playing that we want to talk about? What's interesting that we've been playing, guys? Sam, you can start.
Right, so I'll just quickly say the games that I have been playing. So I've been playing Animal Crossing. I've kind of fallen off of it now, but Animal Crossing, League, which I've stopped playing because it's garbage. Final Fantasy VII Remake, which, if you haven't played it, you need to play it. Chris, I know you're waiting for the PC port.
Can't play it otherwise.
Get that game once it's on a PC port, because I would just recommend playing the original first, just so you can see the actual.
I've tried. I hate the action in that game.
But yeah,
Turn-based combat
Final
is boring
Fantasy
to me.
VII Remake, brilliant game, beautiful game. And I've played the 2 demos, the Destroy All Humans remake.
I've played that one as well.
Which, I'm not gonna lie, oh, what's going on here? Is that you?
Yeah.
I love how they've kept it's pretty much identical to the original.
I love the little disclaimer at the start.
The
little disclaimer at the start saying this game has been recreated one for one. It may not be suitable for a modern day audience.
Yeah, it really is. It is literally that first mission. While I was playing it, I got the original first mission on YouTube, and I basically played it through with it, and it's every single the laughs, the characters, textures, everything is. It's just a crisper, cleaner, nice VFX. The game is. I'm excited to play it, definitely. Or as well, the destruction on the environments are.
Yeah, the
they
destruction really stood out to me.
Like when you blow up a building, the explosion and then the smoke, how it disperses slowly after you've destroyed it, mate. It's a beautiful game. It's comedic, it's gonna be great. I also played Ghost Runner.
Ghost Runner, I played that one as well. That was really fun.
Very good game. I'm getting old, so my reaction speed wasn't the best. But I managed to get 7. Did I write it down? I got 740. That was my second play. That was my second one.
My best was 502.
I was going to go for a third one, but I had to walk the dogs and stuff. But yeah, the game, it looks really nice. It plays really nice,
Can you explain this game to me? Because I've never played it.
So basically, it's a free runner. It feels like Mirror's Edge, but you're a ninja. Chris, am I right? Like a cyborg ninja.
It's a parkour action game.
Yeah.
Linear. It's a linear parkour action game.
And you're running through. Yeah, you've got it's a linear playthrough. You have to take down enemies, and I mean you have to be quick. Like if you're not quick, you're dead. And
you kill in one hit, but you can get killed in one.
Yeah,
hit.
But it's
go on, Chris. The way I got to learning, so it's like you get a move which you get a dash, but the dash is different to other games in which if you use a dash on the ground, it's just a dash forward.
Yeah, just a dash.
But if you use a dash in the air, it slows down time as long as you've got it held, and you can use that to dodge bullets.
Yeah.
And the enemies telegraph their attacks, so it's like their gun will flash red, you will slow down time, strafe the bullet, and then dash towards them and kill them in one hit. It's really satisfying when you that happens.
It's a very arcadey feel. There's definitely going to be leaderboards.
You get a grappling hook, which isn't the same. It's not a grappling hook like Spider-Man, which you can just always go to where you exactly want to go. You are limited and you can only go to certain points. But once you get it, they scatter those points throughout the level, and it's really snappy. It's really fluent. It really works on top of the game. It's already there.
Yeah.
It is really really fun.
Nathan,
to play.
if you haven't played it, it's free on. Check it out, mate. It's literally a 10-minute playthrough of the first mission. The gameplay is really nice. I've never heard of the developers. Slipgate Ironworks.
Oh no, I've never.
But a game I have heard that what they have made is Kingpin, an old PC game.
They made Duke Nukem, I think.
Did they remake Duke Nukem? Because I was trying
Duke
to find
Nukem
out.
3D Reloaded.
Yeah, so that game was pretty poor.
Yeah.
But I do
They made
remember.
Metamorphosis, Bird and Cage.
Yeah, the only two I heard was Kingpin and
Rise of the Triad.
Rod Rogers.
Oh, Rise of the Triad, yeah.
Rad Rogers, sorry.
Rad Rogers.
Yeah, old game. I think they remade it.
Yeah, they made the remake, the Radical Edition.
But
What other game? They've made from the games I recognise, have made Metamorphosis, of Bird and Cage, Rise of the Triad, Duke Nukem, and Ancestors Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
All those games range from bad to slightly above average, but Ghost Runner definitely feels like it's going to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be
game.
it's gonna be a pretty high quality game, and
There's a lot of hype around this game.
It's not.
I won't say there is.
I don't think there's a lot of hype. I can quickly check the IGN Summer of Games trailer for it.
But I definitely think
performs.
it's going to be a game that a lot of people are going to speedrun. Definitely a game that there's going to be a lot of leaderboards, a lot of competition, which is also always good in games.
Ghost Runner is sitting 17th on the official on the trailers list, so that's about that. Well, it's 16th excluding the PlayStation 5, and then 15th excluding the second Horizon trailer in that list. So it's about 15th most hyped upcoming release, which is a really good spot for a developer like Slipstream.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much more to say about
Slipgate. Sorry,
It's
Slipgate.
so good. Slipgate, yeah, but there's solid game. Keep your eye on it.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
definitely.
It's a 10 minute game. I've got about an hour on it on just the demo.
Yeah, it's. I would have played more of it if I didn't have things to do. But yeah, it's a nice. The soundtrack's really upbeat as well. Keeps your blood pumping. Yeah. What about you, Nathan?
Play the soundtrack on.
Chris, you need to play games with the soundtrack on.
Yeah, man.
This is a debate for another episode.
I just played it's kids games, I guess. We're having two little boys. It's just Mario, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Ooh, is that good?
Yeah. Oh my goodness! If you haven't played it, you need to. Yeah, the animations are so amazing. They're so well done. Everything looks so well textured. You know, it's a fantastic game. But yeah, apart from that, a bit of Rogue Legacy maybe. I quite like my roguelikes.
Did you end up buying Hollow Knight or not?
No, I didn't.
No.
I'm still
Alright.
contemplating on what to get for the Switch.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for a game. I'm wanting like a looty game like Diablo, but for the Switch. And I don't really want to get like Torchlight 2 because I've played that before. So that's what I'm looking for, really. But as a whole, yeah, I'm the guy that plays all the Mario games and everything. That
Can't
Nintendo
complain, mate. They're fucking good games. Nintendo, well, Chris might say otherwise, but Nintendo.
Nintendo are king.
They do it right all the time. Yeah, the games might not drop in price, but
if you guys didn't know, the latest Pokemon DLC's dropped.
oh, Sword and Shield.
Yeah, so if you want to, you should definitely put your money down for that. I mean, I might.
How much is it?
Yeah, you instantly buy both of them, and it's $27.99.
Right.
So it's kind of worth it. It's more, yeah. You're gonna get another like 100 hours out of it. Most probably.
My mate just caught a Galarian Darmanitan, the Pokemon that I needed to finish my competitive team, and he caught it randomly in a raid.
Oh, man.
with Zen mode, so it's the rarer version of it.
Oh man!
So I'm trying. I want him to. I wanted him to breed me one.
Yeah, Chris. Honestly, man, I know you take on whatever. You should get a Switch, man.
I would love to, but no. Is there any other games you've played?
Let me just think. Oh yeah, I played Luigi's Mansion, the original for GameCube with his eldest son.
Man.
It's a blast, mate. We killed the baby boss together.
That game is so fun. So fun.
It's so good.
Yeah,
Shove
it
them into
really is.
Halo. That's how I grew up.
Halo.
Yeah, right into Halo.
Mate, this tier list is gonna be funny.
Oh, mate.
Any more?
That's it.
Yeah.
I've got a couple. I've played Ghost Runner and I played Destroy All Humans like Sam did, and I agree with the points made. But I also played the Rift Breaker, which is another game shown at IGN, which is like it's like a mix between a tower defense, a top-down action game.
The Rift Breaker.
The Rift Breaker. It's really fun. The demo is a bit underwhelming because the tutorial level's not really fleshed out. So it's like you have to collect resources like you would in, say, a game like StarCraft. And you got to collect 2 of them, carbonite and iron. Iron's the rarer resource, and you have a mission to make towers at one point in it.
It looks a lot like Command & Conquer.
Yeah, I used up all my iron and spent like 20 minutes searching the map because I couldn't progress in the demo. But it was fun. They give you a little teaser of how chaotic the game gets by just throwing a lot at you.
When's that coming out?
I think it's quite soon. It's either quite soon or
It just says 20. It just says 2020 here.
So we don't know then. But it was a lot of fun. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on it. It's something right up my alley with my type of game. So I'm looking forward to it.
Exor Studios made it.
Exclusive. Oh, it's a computing reference, and you should know that as well, Sam, being a game student.
Exor.
But yeah, it's a logic game. But anyway, the second interesting game I played, Carrion demo. Nobody knows what Carrion is, and I'm so upset by it. It's like, imagine Alien Isolation, not Alien Isolation, but the Alien franchise, except for you get to play the alien. It's really, really fucking good. Just on its concept. So you get to play like as this red blob that goes around and eats like an entire space station.
That looks like Terraria, yeah, but you're playing the boss.
This does not look anything like Terraria. It's just because it's got pixel graphics. So I'll put I think I'll put it on the screen just muted. But like, yeah, it's really, really fun to play. I had a blast while I was playing it. It's definitely one of my games I'm looking
So,
out for.
Chris, as you get, it looks here that your alien guy gets a bit like bigger as you get further on.
Yeah, so as you get more kills, you get more mass, and before you get more HP, and you just become more of a terrifying monster.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is going to show. Will this show? Is this showing the demo on my screen?
Yep,
Yeah.
I've got it, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna have it muted. But like, so you start off like this one size creature, and then you go around and you eat passengers of the ship, and you get stronger.
Yeah, it looks cool.
And you control the monster with your mouse, and it's really, really fun. And then you get, as you go around the ship, you get upgrades. So you get a dash attack, which you have to use to break off these boards that you get earlier. So it's a bit of a Metroidvania in that sense, as you got to unlock abilities as you play. Yeah, so it's like you got to unlock abilities as you play. You got to really watch out because you can get turrets and stuff that will kill you. That's an ability that wasn't in the demo. You can turn invisible at some point. This is a really, really cool game to play. I definitely want more people to know about this game. Look at that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that looks really cool.
So many abilities. It's a power fantasy, I know, but it's like not many games have done this take on you are the monster in a single player environment, you know? A lot of them are like Friday the 13th, in which it's all online, and I'm very hyped. Carrion.
Yeah,
Just based off the game, small part of the game I played.
It looks quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look quite fun.
I think it's looking at around 15 quid. Yeah, so 16.99 is the current price tag for the game. But I would say it's worth it. Depending on the size of the game, of course. But it's a lot of fun. It's Devolver Digital, so it's possible.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. It's a good game. So, yeah, those are the games that I've been playing this week. I think we're gonna go for a quick break, and then when we get back, we're gonna have a console tier list. Don't miss it.
We're back in
Because
back
this
in
will probably be
five.
the last episode that ever exists before I get kicked off of it.
Back in 5.
See you in 5 minutes. Right, so console tier list time. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yes.
Because it's not coming up on the podcast. Give me a sec for my screen to share.
Where did you send it?
No, I'm sharing my screen.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Right. Podcast time. Not podcast time. Tier list time.
This is good.
Oh,
What
let's.
should we start with? We've got all of these consoles here. I think we should start with a couple of rules. We're judging these consoles purely based off their time. So whilst I know that, say, the Sega Mega Drive isn't as good as a PS4 Pro, we're not ranking it against the PS4 Pro. We're ranking it against the consoles that were around at the time. We're not ranking it against its hardware to now. We're ranking it hardware at the time, games at the time, everything at the time. That's what we're looking at. And also, all these consoles here have been played by at least one member of everyone here. But we are all going to pass judgment on them. Otherwise, I can't talk for half this list, and I like talking. So, we're going to kick things off, and we're going to kick things off with one of the highest selling consoles of all time. Where would you guys put the original DS?
Nah, man. The PS2 is the highest selling console.
I said one of the highest.
Oh, right. Sorry.
DS was one of the highest. So, yeah.
DS,
Where would you put the original DS?
It's a good console, man.
For
It's
its
a good
for its
console.
time. Well, the thing is, every console here for its time were good.
I disagree. I heavily disagree with that.
The original DS.
I mean, right, we need to go through what God, good, meh, bad, and bin
So,
mean.
God tier, best consoles of all time, undisputed. These consoles
Masterpiece.
changed the industry and made a huge impact.
Okay.
That's what God tier is. Good tier, consoles are very solid, not groundbreaking, but very good.
I'm gonna say.
Are we allowing
Meh
games?
is average. We're also ranking games, so if a console has really good games but has terrible hardware, it's still going to be outside of the bad bin to here. All right, but meh, that's where the average consoles go to die. Bad, just why would you? It's like the console's like the
Sega
Wii.
Saturn.
That's where that go into bad, and then bin tier. That's where
Get it in the bin.
that's where you just, if you had one, you throw it away. Don't want it anymore.
Sorry, Jaguar.
DS, I would say the DS is meh. I would say it's meh
I'm saying
because
good.
whilst it had good games, it had a lot of games, however, and a lot of bad games.
In my eyes, it
Yeah,
revolutionized.
handhelds, definitely.
Picture chart.
Nah, it didn't
It
revolutionize
what, man?
handhelds. Game Boy did.
Well, yeah.
Because it's a
Yeah,
case of, I'm looking at all the handhelds and I'm going, right, where would I rank them? DS just doesn't outdo the Game Boy for me. I think the DS is very average compared to all
I
the
mean, are
consoles.
we
It
counting
had-
all DSs here, or just the original
we're counting DS, DS and DSi.
DS Lights?
DS and DSi's. So not 3DS, not 2DS.
So
I would
not
say
the
DS
Lite.
is met. It had good games, but then those games none of them were exclusives. Like it had Plants vs Zombies, it had Final Fantasy Tactics, it had Pokemon was exclusive, but then it had also the worst Pokemon game. So
I'm saying good for the DS.
Yeah, you shot out a look here, mate. It's 2 against 1.
all right, we're gonna go good. Don't
Yeah.
worry, we got more to come. So while we're on the vein of DSs, might as well do the 3DS at the same time. Now, this is originally why I was going to put the DS
God.
in meh, because I think the 3DS is good. It's not God.
God.
It's
It's
not
God,
God.
man.
It's good.
Uh,
It's good.
God.
It's
I'm
not. It's not God. God is reserved. God is reserved.
Right, so I'm saying it's gonna have to go in good because I say it's a meh console
What?
because
How dare you?
I
It didn't
don't
revolutionize anything though.
I-
That's why I
I've-
won't put it in God.
as much.
Yeah, the 3DS is better than the DS.
Yeah, but it's not God tier. It didn't
Library
revolutionize.
alone. The library.
Yeah, but
alone.
it didn't revolutionize anything.
The 3D thing, that were cool.
Yeah, and that isn't around anymore, is it?
Yeah, but I bet there's similar technology that's used.
The
on
thing
that.
is,
It was actually such a bad thing. They re-released it as as the same console, just without the 3D
The
feature.
the 3D feature for me was
I like
it was a shot in the dark,
gimmick,
but
gimmicky.
Yeah.
but half of the people I know never used it.
I might have turned it on as like, oh wow, I wonder
Yeah,
what this
to
looks
try
like
it
in
out,
3D,
yeah.
and then turned it off.
Like, don't get me wrong, the Street Fighter for the 3DS, Street Fighter 5, that had probably one of the best 3D implements
Yeah.
across most of the games because you got that camera span.
It wasn't just that, Sam, as well. They also re-released like Sonic the Hedgehog for the Mega Drive, but that in 3D, like that was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, to relive a classic in 3D was really, really, really cool.
Yeah, but my thing is like, look at the games I got. Pokemon X and Y. It's a decent Pokemon. Wasn't
Amazing
groundbreaking.
Pokemon game. I love
It was decent. It's not better than Ruby. It's not better than Red. It's not better than Sword and Shield. Like, it's
you're
average. It's an average Pokemon game. Monster Hunter, it wasn't a great Monster Hunter
So
game.
we're gonna have to go down the line here.
I'm thinking I think it's gonna be good, me.
Yeah, well, I say good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it in God, no. Right, we'll move away from handhelds now. We'll go on to Sam's speciality, the Commodore 64
Nice.
dinosaur console.
I don't like this fucking tier list, Chris. Why is he meh, bad, and bin?
What do you mean?
Meh should be okay.
Yeah, Met is okay. It's average.
Yeah,
Meh's like
I can't.
meh.
Fine.
I'd rather
Fine.
not.
I want to be less boring. Average. You want it to be more boring.
Yeah, average.
More boring.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
God, good, average, bad bin.
Right.
Yeah, Chris, can you put your own name in like under the bin?
Shut up.
Where it says bin.
Shut up. Oh, I'm gonna make a new category called J for Joe Rogan.
Commodore 64. The times I played it, I was quite young, and I've got quite a lot of good memories playing it. So for me,
games.
I'm going to say it's average because
I'm gonna list off a couple games that were on it. Right, Ghosts and Goblins, Tetris, Lemmings,
bad
Sid
port.
Meier's Pirates,
Bad-
Mario
Yeah.
Brothers,
Boulder
Donkey Kong,
Boulder Dash,
Contra, Frogger. It has some good games.
Lemmings.
Yeah, it's got a massive collection of games.
It has some good games, but how much of that was washed down by
But
Kung Fu Master,
It
Galaxian,
also took 10 minutes to load a game, Chris.
Outrun?
Yeah, it did.
The Jet Set. Oh no, Jet Set was good.
It
But
also
like,
took 10 minutes to load a game, though. Like,
and it were cassette based.
I would put it in bad.
Nah, average, man.
I'm saying average.
We'll put it in
Not a
average.
bad
I can't really comment too much on it. I would put it in bad just because it wasn't as good as the PC. But PCs were more
Brought some
expensive.
brilliant games, too.
Now we're gonna push forward a bit here, and I think this is a Genesis or a Mega Drive.
That is
I think
a.
the Genesis.
That
and Mega
looks
Drive are
like the
same
Mega
thing.
Drive. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, this is a Genesis. This is a Genesis / Mega Drive. They're both the same.
Yeah,
console.
yeah.
So, Genesis, guys, what were you looking at for Genesis?
It's a fucking good console, mate.
It is a good console.
You had Sonic, which...
I'm saying God tier for this one.
Sonic, Streets of Rage, Toe Jam and Earl, the Aladdin game,
I'm saying
Fantasy Star 4.
So many good titles.
Alex Kidd.
many.
yeah. I'm saying
but then-
saying God tier.
It also has, wait, wasn't Mega Drive? Was it Mega
Teenage
Drive or
Mutant
was it
Ninja
Dreamcast?
Turtles.
Was it Mega Drive or Dreamcast that was the last console Sega made?
Dreamcast.
Okay, right, that's the one that's going in bin. Right, but I would say it's
No, I've got a lot to say about the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I have as well.
I would say I'm not. I mean, Genesis wasn't it the first 16-bit console?
60
Or was that the-
I
16.
would put it above the 3DS
Yeah.
and the DS, to be
Yeah.
fair. Like, thinking about it.
We can restructure this
Yeah.
at the end, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't. It's not like we're locked in. But yeah, so we'll put it in God for now.
yeah,
We might look back later and go, is it on the same tier as some?
Yeah.
Just saying, chat. If anyone in chat thinks differently, just
Yeah,
put it there.
Yeah, just
and-
say you're all
What-
as much part of this as we are.
Exactly.
Right, we've been sitting in the bit of the past, so now we're gonna step forward. Xbox One.
good console.
Where would you put the Xbox One.
I
I would say bad.
I'm saying.
I would say bad. It's got no good exclusives.
Yeah.
Name a good exclusive that the game.
Yeah,
The
I agree with Chris. I agree with Chris. I feel like it is bad.
I'm tempted to put it in the bin, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I am tempted to put it in the bin. It has no good exclusives. It's worse hardware-wise than the PlayStation. Like,
I feel like
any game that you want to play on it will lag. Guaranteed, it will go to 20 FPS constantly.
The Xbox dashboard sucks balls as well.
I think
it's
they had
horrible to fucking navigate. I might be tempted to put it in the bin.
Bin. Are we binning it?
Are we binning it?
We're binning it.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah.
Fucking get in the bin, mate.
It's fine. Microsoft will have other consoles that make a comeback. All right, so we've had two Nintendos, a Sega. We don't talk about where Commodore's company is right now, and a Microsoft.
My first console was the Atari 2600.
Oh, Atari 2600.
Now that has to
It's
be
this one, right?
Yeah, that is the one.
I ever played.
Atari 2600. Now this console has legendary stars.
Yeah, it does.
We can all agree on that. Legendary stars.
Put it this way.
Everybody knows Atari, even though they're dead.
God.
Everybody knows Atari, though they are dead.
These are the forefathers.
Yeah, just is it? You know what 4 consoles are going there.
Big but with this one, right? Wasn't competing against the Nintendo Entertainment System?
No.
It was released a few years before.
Commodore.
I think it was the Amiga.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it came out way before the NES.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the games it has. It's got some.
It's got some. Well, you've got your.
It's all arcade, man.
Yeah,
all arcade.
you got.
Yeah, I'm not judging them for being arcade. I'm just saying it's like there's nothing out here that's gonna.
It was a time where you had to use your imagination.
But they've got
to get an Atari 2600.
No, but you got space. You got like Space Invaders and Pac-Man. You know, like
Pac-Man was the first game I ever played.
Mate, Arcade Club is built off of fucking arcade games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So
I'm saying it's up there with Sega.
I wouldn't say God because it didn't revolutionize. I would say good. The NES revolutionized.
Nah.
I would say the Atari 2600 is good. Yeah, it's some good games.
It may have caused the crash in America, with E.T., but it's still
did it cause a crash in America? All right.
Nah, put it in bit. No,
We're gonna create Joe for Joe Rogan, guys. I'm sorry. Nah, I would say it had E.T., which does deduct a couple points. Let's be honest, it does.
But, right, I'll be happy.
But then it also adds points because it is revolutionary.
But
that's what I mean.
But the console wasn't revolutionary; it was the game.
I'm saying God because it's it's got too much of a legendary status, man.
There were no console that could touch that of its time.
Yeah, it was
nothing like it.
Nah. The NES was. I mean, the Atari was before me.
Atari first came out.
I don't think we can put it in God purely because it is the only console to cause a crash in the industry. But I am very happy putting it in good.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Otherwise, God is going to become really saturated for throwing the Atari 2600 in. But from one to the next, we've been talking about it. The NES. God. Let's put it that way.
God. Yeah.
It was the sole reason why we have consoles today.
I agree. I've played nearly every single NES title. Honestly, it is one of the best consoles out there.
Let me list off some titles that were on the NES.
Super Mario 3,
Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Excite Bike. Dr. Mario. Punch Out.
Paperboy.
Final Fantasy. Duck Hunt.
Paperboy.
Just absolute classic after classic after classic.
Yeah.
Castlevania. Come on.
Yeah.
So many huge franchises spawned from this console, and for that reason, just for the fact that these are huge, it has to be God tier.
Yeah.
Just want to say, right, while we're doing this, have you noticed? I know we haven't rated. Well, we've rated the Xbox One, but have you noticed that the fucking God tier consoles are the fucking old ones?
We've rated how many old consoles? 4 old consoles and 1 modern console. But if that's how you think, Switch. Where are we putting the Switch, boys?
God.
No.
Mate, Animal Crossing while you're pooping. It's God.
Good. It's a good console.
I'm saying it's a good
not
console.
A God console. It's not a god
even know
console.
that. You've never even probably played after.
Because all I'm saying is, right, if you put me in the time in which the Switch came out and the time the Game Boy came out, I would
It'd
say
be
the Game
cooler.
Boy is a better handheld than the Switch. And there's no category above God. You can't get better than God. Like, I'm saying, Switch has had some great, absolute bangers after it, but if it didn't have the games,
I am saying
if it didn't have the amazing classics, instant classics that have come out, like Breath of the Wild, like Odyssey, would we talk about this console as if it was worth any money?
Yes.
No. The hardware is terrible. It constantly fails. This includes the Switch Lite, and the Switch Lite is one of the worst pieces of fucking hardware that has ever been developed.
Yeah, but it's well cheap.
no.
For a reason. I think it's good.
I'm saying good because of hardware problems.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
I disagree, but it's a vote, and I
If it didn't have god tier games, it would be a good tier console.
There's so many Japanese titles that none of us will even see. Trust me, that is a god.
Yeah.
The Switch is
But
a god tier console.
If it didn't have so many god tier games, it would be a good tier console.
I'm stuck between God and good, me, because it is like the games for it are top of the range.
It's the best portable gaming.
I would say.
Yeah, but it's got no competition from Microsoft. It's the only best.
You know,
only one
right?
Microsoft
I'm
does.
saying. Nah.
No one's competing with them on handheld. It's not really fair to say that it's the best
Mate,
handheld
God.
console.
It's got the new Pokemons on it. It's Peng. It's got the Zeldas. Peng. It's God.
Yeah, but it also has Skyrim.
Oh, shut
Burnout
up, man!
Paradise. I'm just saying, like the re-release of Skyrim.
Right.
I'll come back to it because I need to think on that
Right.
one.
Yeah, come back. See how we rate against the other stuff that we put up there.
They engage.
Engage.
Yeah.
Where's this Nokia brick?
Let's just say put it in the bin.
In the bin.
It's
in
a
the fucking
Nokia
bin.
on its side.
Oh,
It's terrible.
oh, mate, Tomb Raider on that game. My God, I could have fucking.
Oh,
I'd rather stab my fucking eyes. Oh yeah, it was awful, man. It was a good shot, Nokia, a good shot, but
Did it revolutionise though? Think about it. Did it revolutionise the gaming we have today in phones?
No, because the Nokia phone would have done that.
No, you know what? No,
This
you
is-
know
this isn't
what?
a phone, this is
You
a
know
handheld.
what?
This
It
is a
needs to go in. It needs to go bad because what? Why? Because Nokia it actually released hard copies of the games that it was bringing out. It had a SIM card. It was a phone, and it was a console.
Revolutionised, man.
It
at
is.
the
It
time.
is very out of the. It's in the deep end, man. I think it needs to go in bad. I think.
We'll have a look at that later, but yeah, I agree.
I think they tried stuff that at the time no one was doing. They brought out a phone that you could ring people on, and then you could stick in a cartridge and play five FPS games.
Yeah, it's legit, but they did the best with what they had, you know.
I think I'd give them an extra up in just because they tried something that not a lot of people were trying.
PlayStation
PS1.
1.
God.
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 It killed Sega.
God,
Yeah.
mate. It
It
killed
killed
everything.
Sega.
It fucking was.
Sonic has never been the same since. He's gone to alcoholism. You know, he's not been as good. You know, he had a bit of rehab with Mania, but he's in the bin still.
Think about
It's
it,
killed
guys.
Sega.
We've got Metal Gear, we've got Crash, we've
Yeah.
got Spyro,
Yeah.
we've got Cross.
Yeah. Look
Resident
at
We
now.
are being taught by these guys, by the way, which is awesome.
In it.
You know what I mean?
Absolute, yes,
Yeah.
amazing. It gave us thumbsticks. Not I emphasize plural on that. Sticks.
Well-
We had two. You know, we could actually grip the controller without having.
Wasn't
a third hand.
that the second load of PS1s though? Because the originals didn't have analogs,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah, but it's still good.
re-released.
We still
re-released
got
it.
dual
Put
stick.
it in, I guess.
But
We
yeah,
still got dual sticks from it. You know,
definitely.
every controller nowadays is based off that controller.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that vibration in that pad.
And it brought us discs. It brought us discs,
No,
and
wrong.
which I can say we're all happy for.
That's wrong, isn't it?
I like the Nintendo way of cartridges. They've gone back that way, and I think
I hate
well, I like that good.
Wasn't the Saturn one of the first? Why have you got 2 Saturns on here?
No, I don't have 2 Saturns, do we? Where?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Second from
Oh,
left.
ignore this image. It's because this website's a bit weird. You can't upload your images one by one. You have to select them all at once, and I was a test to see if
Oh,
it
alright.
Game Gear mixed in with a Switch.
Well, I'll tell you what, we still got a vote on that.
No, we don't. Yeah, it's
Imagine
2
what them
consoles
2
in one.
consoles would be like in one, yeah.
Surely the Game Gear would just downgrade the Saturn.
That's a Game Gear.
Yeah, I was just saying the Game Gear would downgrade the Saturn.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we moving on to? What are we thinking, boys?
I'm thinking PC.
I think we need to
let's
populate
get the PC out.
God.
Master Race.
God, it has to be God. It's
in
the
the Mac
longest.
Race.
If we're talking about gaming devices, it's the longest lasting gaming device. It has seen the Commodore 64, it's seen the PlayStation 4, and it will see the PlayStation 5.
All the old Ataris,
Yeah.
everything is PC.
Yeah, PC.
Yeah,
you
they
can't.
innovate. Games are built on it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, innit? if it weren't for the PC, all these consoles wouldn't even be on here.
If it weren't for the PC, we'd still be making our games.
Innit?
Yeah.
The PS4 would be a fucking games developing kit as well on top of it. What are we looking at now?
The Wii.
That's correct.
The Wii.
That's a very controversial console, isn't it?
I'm going to say, based on my experience and the way that they sold, good.
I would
It's a
say
good console.
I'm saying average.
I would say it's a good console in
It
terms
got
of like
all the
everything that
grannies
got released
working
for
out,
it.
mate. It did
But
good.
then it's like it brought a lot of people to games, and then it also gave us motion controls. There is literally VR before VR. We're not looking at virtual.
it was
Virtual
decent.
doesn't
Motion,
exist.
them motion controls.
They were
Yeah.
decent.
HTC. Everyone looks at someone playing with a HTC Vive with motion controls or an Oculus or whatever with motion controls, going, "Oh, that's sick." It's like your hands are actually in the game. The Wii was the groundwork for that.
Yeah.
It brought
Half
like
good, man.
no one was ashamed that they had a Wii. You know, going through school. You know, people were like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about having an Xbox or a PlayStation."
Yeah, I think.
No, everyone was fine with.
Yeah,
I would say God.
I'm saying good. I'm saying good.
It was the one console I wasn't shamed to own.
Good.
So yeah, good.
It was a bit. There was a bit of shame.
Tiny.
No,
little
there was no shame in saying at school you had a Wii.
Well, yeah, but when you
Saying
say
it like that, there was a shame. Like,
You had a Wii. You had a Wii. You had a Wii.
like, I have never ever been active in my life except for when playing Just Dance. That game is a pain in the ass. Let's go through that whole generation at once. Why don't we? Xbox 360.
Oh, this is a.
This is Microsoft's highest performing console.
I'm.
Best Microsoft are ever going to do.
We are including the original Xbox 360 in this as well, not just the Slim, the one that had tons and tons of
That's
faults.
the reason why it doesn't go in the God.
Yeah.
It would go in God if the Slim was the original.
Yeah.
But it did have a notorious red ring of death.
Yes.
Which I got about 8 times.
I've still got my original white one, and it works.
Mate,
I
that's
have
worth
my
cash.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure they're worth a lot of money then now.
Yeah.
I still have the original white one. However, it's not really original because it's had so much work done to it. Because luckily, my dad fixed consoles. It doesn't have. It has a different motherboard. It has a different processor. It has a different fucking. Maybe not processor, but it has a different disk drive. So it's not really original. But yeah, I'd say good. Yeah, it had some great games. Gave us HD gaming.
Amazing games.
Well, at least 720p gaming. Opened the door for indie games on consoles.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Huge for Switch development.
Yeah,
nowadays.
it is really it is a pity that the 360 was so faulty because it really was like a huge blow up in online game. Well, I say online gaming, but I feel like that's where it
I feel
peaked.
sorry for him a little bit.
Yeah, it really was a good console.
Well, but
Yeah,
the issue that the original Xbox had was really obvious in the fact that it was just like the motherboard was screwed on too tight, so it'd warp as you played. So it was constantly like bending the motherboard, which was the issue it had. And then you had all the drama about like its refurbishment and stuff like that.
Oh,
But good tier's a good spot. And now PlayStation 3.
Uh,
Bad.
I'm saying average.
Buy one and mod it. It will.
We're
change.
also including the original PS3, which was going for $800 and had a Blu-ray player. That's also included in this discussion.
Wait.
with
So
the PlayStation 3.
are we? Because the PS3, the original, the first PS3, they were 60 gigabyte, and they was backwards compatible
with PS2 and PS1.
Yeah, was that the 60 gigs or 80 gigs?
Just the 60s, I think.
I think it was the
Or it might
60.
have been
But
80s.
it also had its notorious yellow light of death,
Yeah,
yellow
which.
room. And it was also $800.
Um,
It's the most expensive console to date.
I'm
by
I
far.
didn't buy it for that. I didn't buy it for that, and I've had an amazing experience.
I'm
with that.
saying average.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
worse than the
say-
360.
I
It's-
disagree.
I would say it's worse than the
Their
360.
their online capabilities were pretty bad.
It were free, mate. Yeah, but they were free.
Yeah,
By
true.
the very end of
If
the
everyone had
PS3's
supported
lifestyle.
if everyone had supported that, we probably wouldn't be paying for online nowadays.
But
Yeah.
you know,
Microsoft introduced that, man.
yeah, but PS3 it was better than the 360 right at the end. But then it had that huge
Think of all
scandal
the- think
with
of all
Lizard
the
Squad
Japanese-
hacking
Think of all
the
Japanese-
system. How many people lost tons of money because of that hack? Like,
Think about all the Japanese titles that you're just pushing aside because you've never even like.
Yeah.
Trust me, man.
I've played the
What? Where are you
There's at
saying?
least
Where are you
1,000
saying,
titles.
Nathan?
I want to put it in the good tier, man. It's definitely the same as the 360. If you include the library of Japanese games, it's 100% on the par with the 360.
the Japanese game, the exclusives for PS3 were good and probably better, but I would say just because Xbox had a way more extensive indie catalog, I
No,
would
we just
say
got
they're
more
about
access to it
average.
'cause we're a Western country, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd put it in average.
I'm putting it in average just because
It's not as bad as the
with
Metal Gear,
with my
but
experience,
it's
I feel
not as
like
good
I had a PS3, but I played my 360 more. It's kind of I went from PS1
Yeah.
to 360 because
I would, right.
I just felt it was
really cheap to pick up, Sam, yeah? I picked mine up for 40 quid, cash converters, mod it, yeah? You'll have such a good experience. Playing all them old Japanese, newer Japanese titles. I
They
swear
have-
I'm still messing games.
they have
like-
some good exclusives, like
Yeah.
sick exclusives, like
And they tried a lot of new things as well with the dual axis motion control thing.
Yeah,
like
the
that
axis
was really
motion-
good. Like that
yeah.
worked really well when it came. But yeah, average. If it's an average console, it's average.
I
I would say average.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I
hold
would
up
say-
against a DS and an Atari, in my opinion.
yeah, average. I'm saying.
Where are we looking now? Where do we want to go? Do we want to talk about the Game Boy?
I mean, it can withstand a bomb and still work.
Yeah,
To be clear up as well, we are talking about every single variation. Of
so
Game Boy.
your
I'm talking
your
I'm talking
colours,
advanced,
yeah, your nanos.
God.
God.
I'm saying
God.
God. Yeah, it revolutionised handhelds.
Pokemon. That's all I need to say.
Everything.
Yeah, Pokemon, mate. Pfft,
Everybody.
that's
had their Game Boy.
yeah, 100%.
You could bring games to school. Like that was just such a new thing back then.
Oh yeah,
The hardware, it didn't hold up, but it was because it was handheld, new type.
the hardware did hold up though.
No,
Did it?
because it didn't have color, and we were starting to get like color started to get really in depth in that generation.
Oh yeah.
But to be fair, you can't expect the hardware to hold up, and it has laid the groundwork for something like the
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
So I would say God tier is perfectly acceptable for that. You can't
Yeah.
go any lower. You know, it's better than the DS.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
From one handheld though, that was good, to one that wasn't so good. The Nintendo Wii U.
I've got this console and I've had the most fun with my kids ever. Like,
Right,
this
but
is-
name
this
5
is
games that
mine.
have been on this console.
I'll name you one game that hasn't reached any other console, and that's Mario 3D World.
Brilliant game, mate.
It's a sick.
I have
game.
never completed
One of the
it,
best-
but yeah, it's sick.
Mate, I've recently completed it with my eldest, and it was the best thing.
Yeah,
ever.
it really
You know,
is.
the last boss fight. I know you guys are going to put it in the bin or the back.
No.
Well, I'm not
so-
putting it in the bin. It's not the same as an Xbox One. I honestly look at it and going, is the Xbox
Mate,
One really worse than
Zelda
an
Breath of the Wild came out for this console.
Yeah, but
Um,
like, you can't. There's so few games on this console.
I know. I'm just trying to like it because I still own one, and
Yeah.
you know.
I'm saying
Your
average.
personal experience with it is that it's a good console, but it's like objectively looking at it, it's like there's very,
wouldn't say
very
good.
few games.
I wouldn't say good. I'd put it in the average.
Average.
Very, very few games for it, and because
Yeah.
of how bad the console was, in my opinion, they had to release a Switch to compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did
If they didn't release a Switch, they would have just gone.
It is a
off.
Switch prototype, like literally. It is a Switch prototype. Like the controller, it just you can see it.
I would say it's a prototype more. The Switch was an evolution of it. Because a prototype makes it sound like it was released
Yeah, well, they did a
to
lot
in a
better with
half
it.
finished
Yeah,
state, which
you're right.
sounds worse. I wouldn't say bin. I wouldn't definitely. not
I'm
saying
saying average.
Average, man.
We'll go average.
Like, have kids and then get that console.
I've got a long way to go. I'm only 19, bro. I might get a Switch if I have kids. Right. This is a SNES.
God.
Super Nintendo.
I don't think it's as good as the NES.
Right. You honestly.
I would say it
This is
is
where-
as good as the NES. Maybe
This is
even
where-
better.
The Japanese titles also come in.
Yeah.
Because there were so many
Yeah.
RPGs, Japanese
Actually,
RPGs.
To be fair, I am looking at the game list and I'm like Super Mario
Yeah.
World,
Super
Yoshi's
Mario
Island
World.
Adventure,
Mate,
Legend of Zelda, Link
that's what I
to the
mean.
Past, Donkey
NES
Kong
NES
Country,
paved the way, but Super Nintendo,
Earthbound,
mate,
Chrono
you've
Trigger.
got
The
like
game looked amazing as well.
idle characters. They've got making games now with characters from that console.
Yeah, mate.
But I still don't think it's God.
I do.
I do.
I would not put it on the same pedestal that the NES, PlayStation 1, and the Game Boy's on.
I would
Because it
100%.
was good.
I've,
Did it revolutionize?
I've played majority of games for that
Same.
console, and even the shit ones, Chris, are fucking pretty good.
Yeah.
And you can't, the controller was amazing. Like the hardware was top of the line.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Mate,
was
everything.
awesome
You
about it.
never got any screen tear. The game runs smoothly. It was fucking.
Nice,
Yeah, it was.
It,
I-
didn't have it couldn't do sound as good as the Mega Drive,
No,
or I think it could do sound better. Either one or the other.
no. The Mega Drive definitely had a better sound
Chip.
card. Yeah, than the SNES. SNES was
Yeah,
still kind of
it's got to be God,
distorted.
man. It's got to be God. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying
Put
God.
it in God. Right, so why were we looking? Where were we looking now?
The Vectrex.
We haven't had a Sega
We'll get-
we'll go
get-
Vectrex.
Get that out.
I've never even heard of this console before, so I'm
Right.
automatically looking at these two.
My little story about this is basically it was one of my mum's first consoles she played when she was in her 20s, probably my age. And she recently, well, I say recently, maybe about 10 years ago, bought one for me to play for the first time. And
Man.
I had quite a lot of fun. It's not average. It's probably bad because of the hardware of the console.
It
But
doesn't have a lot of
was,
games.
It was the first console to do a different way of drawing sprites
yeah,
on the screen.
well, basically, what it was, you slipped in, like, it was like a film, and it would change. Say a game cartridge has the same background as another one, you'd slip this, like, film over the screen, and it would change the game depending on what screen you've got on, which was very unique for the time. But it didn't have much colour. It was depending on what
That-
screen you had.
There are only 28 games released for this,
Yeah,
and three of those require external hardware.
Let me just say that
Oh.
this. I mean, I haven't extensively looked into this, but it definitely revolutionised some ways in the ways we make games.
like
now.
Atari and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's a
If you-
different avenue.
But if you bought the console on its own as is, without any external things, you could only
it.
buy and play 23 games.
Yeah, but you have to think when this console came out is
man.
1970,
It- it- what-
1970 6?
1982 80 is the earliest game that came out. So 1982.
1982.
Which means I think it's competing with the NES, right?
No, there's a game here for 1977.
It was a British only thing though, the Vectrex, right? It wasn't worldwide. It was a British thing.
was.
So, because the British.
Oh no! It was first launched in North America, and then brought over to Europe in. It was released in 1982.
Because it's MB, isn't it? Milton and whatever it's called, the guys who do the board games. MB, is it?
The CPU that they used in it was a Motorola 1.5 megahertz.
That sounds like a really, really old.
It is old. 1982. I don't know. The things you're saying make me want to put it in like good. Like the film idea, I really like that, but it's just the lack of games means I cannot place this any higher. I don't want to place this any higher than average.
It's got to be average.
Average.
I don't think it can go any higher than average.
If we're going for its times, average is probably where it's at.
Yeah.
Mate, they had a game called Clean Sweep, which was fucking Pac-Man. It was basically Pac-Man before Pac-Man.
I need to come round and play that Vectrex.
Mate, she fucking sold it.
What?
Yeah, she sold it.
Oh, mate, them things are worth a fortune.
Yeah. She bought it with like 5 games for like 70 or 80 quid. And then sold it for about the same. Like, not even long after, maybe 5 years.
Any money there.
Yeah.
You've got to play it, that's pretty
And if you just see that controller there, you see that brick? It tucks in. Yeah.
Yeah, it tucks into front, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it deserves to be an average.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Sega Game Gear. They are re-releasing it though.
Are they
Is
really?
it as bad as the N Gear?
No, it's better than the N-Gear.
N-Gear.
We want to move the N Gear down.
We're moving the N-Gear. We're moving the N-Gear down. The N-Gear.
Yeah.
Right, this is the reason why it was competing with the Game Boy, the Game Gear, and the battery life.
Was atrocious, sorry.
Yeah, it took like an extra 4.
Yeah, it was 8.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was 8 batteries.
And it
8 batteries.
Like 2 hours or 3 hours or something.
Yeah.
Like Game Boy could.
Let me just clarify that it was.
And that was the time of no recharging batteries, right?
It was kind of I think so.
So
it was like
fucking super high maintenance.
But yeah, it did really bad against the Game Boy. And the games looked like shit as well. Like Sonic plays really shit on it. I've played a few of the Game Gear.
I'm looking at a couple of the games right now, and I can say unequivocally that this is actually garbage. Yeah. Even for the time.
Oh no,
to be fair,
you was right.
To be fair, it had a colour screen which the Game Boy did
Yes. Not. The colour was very saturated, but it did.
It did have a colour screen, which is like a plus, but then again, it's like didn't really have much.
Yeah, there's no games. Well,
there's lots of games. There's 366 games for it, but like, they weren't games you will find only. There's no reason to get a Game Gear. There's like, Pokemon was exclusive to the Game Boy.
To be fair, if you're ever talking about old like Japanese consoles, you're best looking at their Japanese games because we just got the shovelware of the. You know what I mean? Like I feel like when you're talking about these old Japanese consoles. Our games, they did good and stuff, but you want to be looking at their market because that's where, you know what I mean?
So, I mean, I'm looking at it like what exclusives they had, and it's like Game Boy, it had Pokemon. What does this console have?
It had nothing.
I've seen all of this on the Genesis.
I'm still confused at how they made Pokemon that early, mate. I'm still confused.
Crazy.
They did the whole hatching and thing, the whole eggs thing. First one. How was all that fit on such little memory?
Was Togepi a Gen 1?
Gen 2.
Could you?
Or you might have been able to get it.
Was they actually? Could you actually breed on that? The first two.
Maybe you could.
I know. No, they want the first ones because there was the daycare
Togepi
center.
was introduced in Generation 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The daycare center were just to level your Pokemon, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Down from Misty's Misty's town.
Right.
Can we move on to mobile?
I was thinking of saving that for last.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Because it's like one of the more controversial picks.
Yeah.
I was about to move on to PSP.
Yeah, just to let you know, the Sega Game Gear did have 6 batteries. It wasn't 8, and they held up to 5 hours max. That's only if you had Duracell.
Yeah, mate.
So not even a full school day.
Yeah. So it was.
It had colour though. It had colour screen.
Yeah.
Maybe before its time though. The Virtual Boy was a VR headset, but way before its time.
Yeah, you're right.
PSP.
Good.
This console is.
I'm saying good.
Yeah,
This console
again,
is
I'm going to
underrated.
keep blabbing on about the Japanese market. Oh my goodness, the titles for this in Japanese. Like, if I could speak Japanese.
As
a game for the rest of your life on that console.
As a Zoomer, you guys had the Game Boy. That's the console you took to school.
No,
PSP was a console I took to school.
I took my PSP to school, mate.
Yeah, mate, same. We were in high school.
Oh no, I'm talking primary school.
I was at high school.
But the PSP has some absolute bangers.
Yeah. The PSP
Absolute
is
bangers.
one
I
of.
remember going to pick it up first day with Ridge Racer. I was just in awe. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
The
how am I
fir-
playing this
the
handheld?
Final
first
Fantasy Crisis Core, the most advanced into a Final Fantasy game I've ever gotten. It has God of War. It has GTA.
Monster Hunter.
We don't talk about Tekken 6. Monster Hunter, yeah, it has that.
What?
like
Tekken 6.
Tekken 6 is sick.
Mate, Tekken 6 was sick.
Not for the PSP. Tekken
No,
6 is an
5.
average Tekken game.
Wanted Tekken 5?
No, it doesn't have 5. It doesn't have 5.
All right.
5, it has
That's
Tekken
called
6.
Resurrection, isn't it?
Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection was the console release of Tekken 5, but Tekken 6 is in the Tekken scene. It's seen as like a bad to average Tekken game. But it has Metal Gear, Yu-Gi-Oh, Tag Force.
Yeah. Oh, good game.
Chinatown.
Oh yeah, good game.
Midnight Club, Crash of the
Good
Titans.
game. Good game.
Everyone loved Crash of the Titans.
I actually liked Crash of the Titans. So
I did, but it's because I was a kid.
Is Crash of the Titans on where you play with that big fucking fairy thing?
Yeah, it's one where you have Titans.
Yeah, I quite liked
Force, the first Force Unleashed, so the good one. Birth by Sleep. Yeah, good.
Sick.
It's a good console.
Yeah.
it
Good
is a
console. Not God, but good.
Not God. Good.
Alright. Which one of these is in? Alright, you guys need to help me here. This is the Dreamcast, right?
That's the
The
side.
one.
That's
which
the
one's
Saturn.
Dreamcast? Sorry.
The white
this
one.
one's Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we're
we're
putting
not
this over here.
Yeah.
We'll look at the Saturn now then. Sega Saturn.
Right.
Right.
They made so many mistakes with this.
Yeah, I don't think it's an all that good console. The
There
games.
is a few games that came out for it. Again, most likely in Japanese, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Shit console, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking through and I'm seeing Virtual Fighter,
Yeah,
is
literally.
a circle. Like,
X-Men vs Street Fighter. That's
Yeah,
a good.
the-
Croc. That's a good one. Mega Man X4.
Sega Saturn, it has a few good games, but
there's a good
And
Japanese
Sonic
firefighter
re-releases.
that-
The original
that-
Resident Evil.
really,
But
is that
all
what-
the stuff I'm seeing is like these aren't exclusives. Other than so not very few of these are exclusives.
Right.
And very few of them give you reason to actually purchase.
and
it.
it really, it pretty much lied at what was it 64-bit?
No,
it was
it
in a
definitely was-
generation where everyone was arguing about bits, even though no one knew.
32-bit.
what it was on about.
That's
Yeah,
what
it's like currently everyone's arguing about teraflops.
Yeah, but it wasn't a 32-bit. It was basically the same power as a SNES. I think it was. I think I watched an angry
No,
video.
I think what I saw is that if you wrote everything down on paper, it was capable of doing everything they said. But together they didn't. They couldn't do it together because it's like it was bottlenecking and stuff.
They fucked up because they brought the Sega Mega Drive or Sega CD add-on, which was called the 32X. I think there's only a handful of games out for that.
What's the Sega?
Oh, is that what you plugged into
Yeah.
top, Nathan?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then soon after, they released the Saturn.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Saturn was obviously way better. So they were just like, well, no, fuck you. We're not buying another one of your products.
Yeah.
So they just didn't buy it, and it just.
I think another reason was the Sega Saturn was the first dual core console, and the thing, well, that sounds great. The thing to know is you had to specifically make your games to use that second core.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of
Yeah.
developers would have, because the Sega Saturn didn't sell too well. So
And-
why would you put in that extra effort for nothing?
Would you like to know how much this console was on release?
Oh my.
How much was it on release?
£400.
What's that for inflation nowadays?
Mate, you're
600.
looking at 600-700 quid.
Yeah.
600-700,
you imagine?
maybe pushing it. So what are we saying? Bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it with the Game Gear.
I feel like it's worse than the Game Gear.
Oh, we're saying we're getting another in the bin.
Because
Yeah, man.
I think we put it bad for now because this list is very top heavy, so we'll have to shift stuff naturally.
Yeah.
Because, average has to, by name that you guys forced me on, it has to be the most filled category.
it did sell 9.26 million units.
That's what I mean. Is it were it a Japanese thing?
It,
Did we not just see it over here?
I mean, one second. It was competing against the SNES, right?
yeah.
So, yeah, it's good. Right, so it sold 9 million.
Yeah,
the SNES
it
sold 49 million.
Well.
Well.
Yeah, just to put things into perspective, Donkey Kong Country sold as much as the
The
Saturn.
console.
Super Mario
in the
World
bin.
sold twice as much as the Saturn.
Get it in the bin, Chris.
Put it in the bin. No, we'll keep it in bad. So
I do
we'll
think it
shuffle
needs to
things.
go in bin, but yeah, leave it there for the time being.
Definitely going in the bin now.
It will probably end in the bin by the end of it. The original Xbox.
Sick. Good.
I would love to put this in God because this was my first console I properly played. I would love to put it in God.
You know what?
Knowing the console it competed with, I cannot, in good conscience,
No, you
put
can't.
this in God. It
I,
had some
the PS2.
amazing.
No,
Gave us Halo, Halo 2, Star Wars.
I'm
Republic
saying God.
Commando.
I'm saying God tier me. You know.
I don't
wouldn't
think it
stop
can.
But
It was it would be a god tier in any other generation.
Right.
But
Wait.
it was in the
God tier.
PS2 era.
Would you say the PS2 is God tier?
yeah.
Yes.
Right.
It's the biggest selling console of all time. I can't be that
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
God, man. They can't be in the same category.
If I had to pick a PS2 or an Xbox, I would pick the PS2.
Yeah. 100%.
So for that reason, this has to go in.
Yeah, it's good.
No.
It's good. It gave us Halo, Jet Set, Halo 2, Republic Commando, classic. All of them are just great games.
Catherine just clarified that PS2 is God tier over Xbox, so that's 3 against 1. So
It has to be good. I
knew it,
wasn't
man.
saying I'm going to put it in God tier. I was saying I want to, but I can't because of the PS2. I was in full agreement for putting it in good. But here's a console you guys overrate. Start this one great. The GameCube.
Right. It's going in the good because obviously, if I put it in the God, it doesn't. It's not as good as the PS2.
Hardware-wise,
Why would you say
it
God?
was below God.
But
It was the worst of the three.
The games of this
Get into
console
chat, get talking.
are unbelievable.
The games are unbelievable, but because
They're so good. Luigi's Mansion.
Alright, man.
You've got Smash Bros.
it was, I'm pretty sure you can correct me if I'm wrong here. Nintendo GameCube was Nintendo's last attempt at competing with PlayStation and Xbox. They never competed with Microsoft.
The GameCube
past the Xbox.
is a good tier. It's not as good as the PS2, but it's as good as an Xbox original.
Hardware-wise, it's bad because it was just below the PS2 and the Xbox specs.
No, but it
games,
was-
however, are god tier.
Yeah.
So I would say it's either high average, low good.
I think it's good.
Controller was sick as well.
Yeah, the controller was sick.
It was much of an upgrade to the Nintendo 64, which is up next. So
Man, that you.
So yeah, I
swear to
would say
God, Chris,
I'd
I
say
will
the
come to your
GameCube was a
house.
low good. Right now, hear me out on this next one.
Right, let me
Nintendo
finish
64. I know for a fact you guys want to put it in God before you guys even say
still
anything.
got my
It's not God.
N64.
It's not a God tier console. For the
It
simple
is.
fact is, everything else was on discs, and Nintendo 64 was on fucking cartridges.
Right, no.
Cartridges, I know you love them, are
What are
worse
you
than
talking
discs.
about? What are you talking about, mate? It did 3D so well.
Yeah, it really did.
Look at Banjo-Kazooie. Look at Mario 64. It
Yeah.
did 3D. It was one of the first consoles that did 3D, man. It's God tier. It revolutionized.
It's not God tier, man. The controller, it sucks ass.
So it came out. Is it the same year as PS1 came out 96 for it or 95?
PS1.
When did that come out? It went 95 or 96?
Yeah, it was competing with the PS1.
Yeah.
I think the PS1 came out before, or it might have come out. I don't know. But either way, it was behind. I think it was. It came out after.
It sold 32.9 million units.
So it sold less than the SNES by 15 million. No, 17 million. Like, it has good games. Like here's literally, you can sum up most of these as Nintendo has good games. The console is lacking, but has good games.
Mate, it had 4-player support.
Yeah, yeah.
At all times. GoldenEye 4-player. Like, what are you talking about? That's like the greatest thing ever.
And then,
but, like, it's the controller.
And then PlayStation brought out the extension, the multi-tap, yeah? That was probably cost of what Nintendo were doing. You had 4 pads. You could have 4 people smashing each other on GoldenEye. Yeah. Mate, sick.
It was sick.
Yeah.
Any racing game, 4-player, you could just plug a
Fusion Frenzy, yeah. Sick.
Away, man.
Mario Party, sick.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, sick.
Like, I'm trying to be really fair now, and I really want to put it in God.
I think it's good. It's a high good. It's a high good because the games were so good, but there were a lot of games, and a lot of the games that you had a lot of games like Perfect Dark, but then you had also a lot of games like fucking Pokemon Puzzle League. Like
you could play Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games on it there.
But people at this point people were still playing Game Boy.
Yeah, but
people were playing Game Boy up till fucking the 360 era.
Right, it's gonna have to go in good.
I'm gonna say good.
Yeah, if the controller did not suck ass, it would be God.
No,
the controller gives me nightmares.
But the PlayStation outdid it, man.
Yeah.
The controller gives me nightmares.
I think just for that reason only, I think the PS1 just outdid it. And that's the only reason I think it's in good tier.
What the fuck is this? I can't remember.
That is a
Master System.
Master System. Yeah.
Master System.
Right, I'm gonna put this in.
I'm probably gonna say average because its predecessor was
Yes.
such a better console.
And you've got.
Hey, what was its predecessor again?
The Mega Drive?
The Mega Drive came after, yeah.
Or was it the Mega Drive after?
The Mega Drive came after that.
Yeah, I would say this looks more like an Atari and the Commodore, so it'd probably be earlier.
Yeah, it's earlier. The Master System.
It had the checkered cartridges, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And it had if you look on that red bit there, that's where like it was, like you'd play your game and there was like,
yeah.
And stuff, like on the Mega Drive. But the games.
Didn't this console have really bad lag?
It had a lot of games.
Yeah, it had a lot of games. It basically it was a Mega Drive, but well, obviously the Mega Drive's like that, but the Mega Drive had the same games, but it was a lot smooth. It was basically the Mega Drive, but not as capable of running games. It
competed with the NES. I believe.
Yeah, it did.
It was the same sort of era.
Yeah. Oh, fuck hell.
So, I want to put it in because, like, Alex Kidd, I believe, started on that console.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did.
Probably average, I guess.
You've got some good games. You've got Wonder Boy. You got Phantasy Star. You got Altered Beast. You got Kid Chameleon.
I'm looking it up and I'm looking at the sales. All right, because sales are a big part of it. It sold 13 million. The Nintendo Entertainment System sold way more than that.
But at that time, arcades were still big, and Sega were cashing in on the arcades.
Yeah.
Sega,
You know what I mean?
just in the NES outsold the Master System in every region alone. The whole entirety of the Master System sold 13 million. The lowest that a NES did in a major market was 19 million. I like that number differential is too big.
Yeah,
for one
it is.
Yeah, I think the controllers were really short.
Yeah,
though.
they were tiny, mate.
Yeah, for Sam's ginormous hands, he wouldn't have been that big at that age.
Maybe.
Mate,
Yeah, I'd say average though.
I came out my mum's womb this size.
Imagine. There'd be a lot of tearage.
Let's stop there and move on. Now the Dreamcast. I'm sorry, it can't go above Bin.
What do you mean?
Name a console Sega made after the Dreamcast.
No, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a good console.
It just did badly.
It did
Good
bad.
if you-
Because it was a bad console.
If you revisit it now, though, I don't know, man. You got Sonic Adventure on this console.
Yeah, you got
like-
Sonic Adventure and you got Battle. Sonic Adventure Battle 2
Yep.
and 1.
There's a
Jet
lot-
Set Radio.
there's a lot of
Shenmue.
yeah.
Shenmue was still going now.
Massive. If you want it right,
Crazy
Yeah, but
Taxi.
it also had Cart Flag to Flag, Centipede,
Centipede. That's a good game.
Disney's Dinosaur.
Well,
that's a big good game. That it's Disney, mate.
I actually think it's. I really like this. I would put it in good, but I don't think it.
Average.
I think it's average.
It can't be average because Sega couldn't make consoles after
No,
this because
no.
it performed so poorly.
Yeah, no, but
Released some really.
really,
good games.
they've got games that are only released on this game that they're still making now.
Yeah, but like, I get that they released some really good games, but those really good games weren't enough from Sega becoming nearly bankrupt.
Them
Shut
games wouldn't
up.
have- If them games wouldn't have happened if the Dreamcast wasn't a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I know what you're trying to say, but it's a case of if those games were so good and they are so good, why was it that they weren't able to stop the Dreamcast performing so poorly?
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of business, but I'm guessing they fucking got stepped on by the guys that were above them at the time.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
Man,
they
stepped
had,
on.
yeah, it is. It was. They did so shit because of the competition.
Sega's still going around today. Sega hasn't lost out. They're still
Yeah,
making games,
but they can't. The console sold 9 million units. Like,
All right,
that's
fine. Furthest I'll let it go.
super.
It's bad. I'm not letting it go in the bin.
I think it.
yeah.
I think it needs
I'd
to.
rather play a Dreamcast.
I would say high bad. We might reshuffle it
Yeah,
around. like,
I think
but
it's
high bad.
No,
Average.
yeah, I would say it's
better than these
average. I think it's average.
All right, we'll go with an average because it's just on the principle of Sega nearly went bankrupt off of it. Like, it can't be good.
Mate,
It's like saying Sega going bankrupt is good.
You could play some games on the actual controller. Come on.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Where you had your memory.
How
Your
small
memory.
that screen is.
Yeah,
It was cool though. This is
it was a little gimmick. Yeah, man.
We're in a time where we're like, wow, this is the future,
Yeah,
man.
and to be honest, the online capabilities that console had was actually quite decent for the time. It might
Yeah, but its online got completely overshadowed by Xbox.
yeah, but didn't Xbox release like 2 years later?
No, it's 2000. The Dreamcast was 2001, and Halo 1 was 2001. So that's
No, the Dreamcast was 1999. So it released a year
It wasn't
later.
the first console to do internet though.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
Dreamcast was 1999, and the Xbox
Well, 2000, wasn't it?
The original Xbox, I know it was originally slated for 2000 release, but it might have been delayed enough. It was 2001. But yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but it's still in that case, it's like it's close enough that it is still competing with those.
Yeah.
And the Xbox's online capabilities were just
Was so much better.
So much better.
Yeah.
Like Halo 2 online is just better than every single thing.
That game was insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's a bit unfair because Halo 2 is goated, but like it's still like a direct comparison in that regard. So the online capabilities aren't enough to rescue at any points. Especially if it was on its own doing online before everyone else, it should have sold more if it was any decent. Moving on, we're going to do the PS Vita. I wouldn't say it's as good as PSP.
No,
average.
I'm saying average.
I wouldn't say it's bad either. So yeah, I agree with average.
I've never owned.
Going an hour and a half.
Well, 10 more minutes. I reckon we can do it in 10. The PSP Vita. Never really played it, but had some good games.
Wasn't bad, but wasn't good. PS2. Do we even need to debate this one?
No.
Goddy boys.
There's one thing.
Might be the greatest of all time.
There's one thing I want to say about it. The internet on that game was bad. Console was bad.
It wasn't made for internet though.
It wasn't made for internet. I know it wasn't.
Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 10.
10 as well.
No, 7 never were on PS2.
7. I thought 7 was
PS1.
Oh, no, God.
PS1.
I think Final Fantasy 10 still.
Sam, Final Fantasy 11 was on the PS2. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 12 was as well, right?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 12 was, yeah.
The online Final Fantasy 11 was PS2 thing.
Really?
Yeah, baby.
Do we add a category just for the PS2 though? Just go. I would argue the PS2 is the best console of all time.
It really was. It really... Mate, I never even knew that. 2002 it came out.
Yeah, we got it a bit later, I think.
Yeah, we put it on its own. Go to you.
Yeah, there we go.
The one to stand above the rest has to be the PlayStation 2. Biggest, best-selling console of all time.
Oh, I remember that day. I remember that day when I got my first PS2, me.
Yeah, mate, I remember that day.
My dad bought me it, and they didn't even buy me a memory card. Vexed. So vexed.
Also gave us really classic Metal Gear Solid games like
My favourite in the series is 2.
2.
Yep, it was the first game I played for the PlayStation 2. I got it for Christmas.
First game I played was Smackdown.
Nice. That's a sick game.
Smackdown, was it?
Just Bring It.
It was, Just Bring It, or something like that.
With The Rock on it.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. Next up, we got PlayStation Eraser. This one's hard because its competition is bin territory. So
I'm gonna say good. I don't think
I'm looking at some of these and I'm going, okay, where does the PlayStation rate against some of these? Is the PlayStation 4 as good as a PlayStation 1?
No.
It's not an average console either.
Is it better? But I also would say it's better than a DS.
No, I put it in good.
I wouldn't say they've got the reason why they're both in good is because they've got things that the other doesn't. PS4 is a good console because of the exclusive, the capability it has to run games. The DS is good for the games it has. You know what I mean? I think it has to be in good. I don't think it needs to be an average because it's not an average console.
Mobile gaming?
I love mobile gaming. I think it should be in good at least.
Purely based off of revenue, it should be go. But because it's the biggest highest grossing market.
The only reason it is because everyone fucking owns a phone.
But if you got to look at some of the things that have horrible things in gaming right now, like loot boxes, microtransactions,
they're the worst for it.
Models have come from mobile and are the worst in mobile. So it's
Average?
It's so easy to develop for them as well that you're bound to have good games just because, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day.
I'm saying average.
There's billions of games for the mobiles. I think that you're bound to have some successes based off of that. So I would put it bad.
I mean,
I'm going average at least just because of how well it actually does.
It's a good point.
Well.
Like
It
these
does
so
perform
much
really well.
like
iPad,
Temple Runner, mate.
mate.
Mate, iPads. Mate, there's some games that you will sit on the toilet 20 minutes after you've taken a shit.
Yeah, mate.
Just be, you know what I mean? It's yeah.
We're coming back to the Switch now. Where would we rate it against some of these?
I'm going with Nathan.
You still
God
saying
tier.
God?
Now we've got the GOAT. I'm saying a God tier because of just the fun factor the game has.
I would say it's better than a PlayStation 4, so I'm fine with that now. Now we've got that context.
Yeah.
Anything here in the list you want to shuffle around? Because if we've got an average
I
category,
feel
that should
like
probably have
the
most
Xbox
games.
One needs to be put to bed.
Yeah.
I've been
Moves to
thinking
bed?
about it.
Yeah.
As much as the console it has no exclusives,
It's still decent
it's still a decent well, I say decent. It's an okay console.
I wanna move a couple down from good and a couple down from God, just because they're like, you know, God tier is reserved category.
Go on,
you know, only the
what is it you want to move? From
I want to
good?
move one of the DSs down to average.
and I think it
want
has.
to move-
I think it has to be the 3DS.
Based off games and stuff, yeah, fine. Take the 3DS down to average.
And I'm looking. It's hard to say because you got to pick one of these to move down. Because these are good, and some of them we could argue God.
Nathan, have you noticed that Nintendo are like taking the majority of the votes?
Yeah.
They've been around the longest. Poor Xbox over here has 3 consoles, and one of them's in bad. But I want to move. I'm looking at like moving, maybe moving the game, not GameCube. I don't know. Is that PSP?
Nah.
Is the PSP as much as I love it as good as a 360, the original Xbox,
Yeah.
the Nintendo 64? I don't think it's as good as a Nintendo
I'm
64.
not gonna let you drop the N64 again, man.
I'm not dropping the N64. I'm saying, is the PSP as good as a Nintendo 64? No.
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is because I think from personal experience, we've all had some good times. Like you said, you took it to school with you. I used to play it across classrooms with my mates on my PSP. For me, it has to stay where it is. I don't think it's average because it's better than average. They had some sick games on it.
Could we make an argument for moving the Xbox One up to average then?
I would move.
Because I don't think there's any fundamentally. There's nothing wrong with the console. It's just that it's being overshadowed by the PlayStation
I would
4.
move the PS4 to God. There's some titles, mate, that we are seriously not looking into.
Yeah.
If we move the PS4 to God, then we probably because then good and God tier are the same size. I think if we move the PS4 up, we've got to move something else down.
I don't know.
And for
though,
that,
like,
I'm looking at one of these two.
You do not touch them, Chris.
No, that God tier is perfect. It needs to stay like that because I don't think anything else I see needs to go up there. If anything, what needs to go up there is either the Atari or the GameCube, or no, not even the GameCube, the N64. But
I don't think we can expand God tier though.
I don't
because
think
then
anything
the same
should
size is
go.
good.
Yeah, I don't think anything should.
Why don't we move the Vectrex down? Because how many games did you like?
Yeah.
personally?
Yeah, the Vectrex. I think it should be in the bad just because of
The games.
the games. Like it has some like really good features, but I don't think it's as good as a PS Vita and a Dreamcast.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
by
what I'm saying.
definition, average has to be the biggest category because it's like the middle. line.
Not really.
Yeah, by definition, average is the middle of the pack, so it has the most.
Maybe,
in it.
maybe mobile gaming is bad.
We're just gonna keep making average smaller.
No, I don't think average. I don't think average needs to. That's just silly, boy.
Well, no, average by definition is the middle area.
Yeah, no, but like what we're seeing, what I'm seeing is that games in general are just sick, aren't they?
Games are sick. I would propose the Xbox One moves to average because it's not like like look at the Game Gear, look at the amount of problems you guys listed. Like that was a fundamentally flawed console. The Xbox One is flawed, and the only thing is that they don't have games.
To be fair,
which is a big flaw, but
to be fair,
like,
the 360's got a massive flaw and it's in good, but it's got such a good library.
Yeah, they fixed the flaw though. Xbox One never really fixed it. Hasn't so far fixed its flaw. I think the reason why we're putting Xbox One so low is because the PS4 is so much better.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like the issue Xbox One has, it has very few games worth mentioning. The PS4 is so good precisely because it has so many games worth mentioning.
That good tier for me is probably.
But I would move Xbox One here. It looks worse than it actually is.
Yeah, you're right. It's not in the same tier as a Game Gear.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that like we can maybe think about moving around?
I personally think either the Wii U or the Dreamcast needs to be moved up.
I think the Wii U might get moved down.
In my opinion, I think it should be PS3 that gets moved down.
Because we moved the Vectrex. We moved the Vectrex down because it has a limited amount of games.
It's only an average because I'm a fucking fanboy. To be fair, move it down.
Yeah, because how many games does the Wii U actually have?
Not many.
Less than 100.
No, it's more than that.
I mean, it's actually got. It's got more than I expected, but a lot of them are like Zen Pinball.
Yeah, it's just shit.
You know, and then there's like other stuff that's always on everything, like Terraria. So, you know, and Tekken. Tekken was on Wii U. It didn't. It had a lot of bloat. It had Sonic Boom on it, and for that reason, it has to move down. Let's be honest. We can't, in good conscience, keep Sonic Boom.
But the thing is, you had Super Mario Maker, you had Breath of the Wild, you had Kirby games, you had Paper Mario.
Yeah, but Breath of the Wild is also on
Switch.
If I'm talking about a list of, give me a reason to buy the Wii U nowadays. No, it doesn't exist. I know we're rating it based off the end, but then it's like even then, it's just not a very. It's like the hardware is so clunky.
I think the Wii U and the Master System need to switch places, or the Commodore 64.
Nah, I like the Commodore, man. It brought a lot.
Yeah, it did.
I think I'm pretty happy with that, you know.
Yeah, I think this is a good list. You know, I was second. Let's rename this to N Gear. Oh, no, it's Engage. I was trying to remember his name because it's, you know, who cares? But then it's like, oh yeah, it's got really. It deserves a category of its own, you know. Its title is Engage. It's being witty.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair, well thought out list.
Yeah, it is. We've took a lot of aspects into consideration.
More civil than I thought.
Yeah,
I've completely missed my chance.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris.
It has bugs
you actually showed more of a understanding of different console tiers on this one.
I'm proud of you, man.
I actually thought they were going to be more of a dispute.
1 second, guys. It's just come to my attention, right, that Bubsy 3D was on the PlayStation 1, and for that reason, it deserves the Yankee.
Well, the top. No, PS2.
Yeah. So. I know. I know. I like the Nintendo 64. Like, I had some controversial opinions of that. I was and ahhing about whether the Game Boy deserves to be God tier or not. Because let's be honest, it was dated, but purely because it was the first, it deserves to be there. When we see like Sega making attempts and then fail so hard.
Yeah.
But no, this is a very. I think this is a good list. Definitely, like, It's not objective. None of these are. These are all the opinions of We Are Era, but solid.
Yeah.
You know, you can argue about a couple consoles moving up, a console moving down, but I don't think you can argue about a console moving 2 up or 2 down.
Yeah. Any opinions on them? Then we'll be posting the video when Sunday, Chris.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know how we're gonna translate this to audio only listeners, but I'll think of a way.
No, to be fair, we spoke about the consoles.
Yeah,
pretty
we do talk about the consoles pretty well, so at least they'll get an understanding.
From the top, in GOAT tier, we have the PlayStation 2, and that will stand on its own.
Mm-hmm.
In God tier, we go Nintendo Switch, the Super NES, the Game Boy, PC gaming, the PlayStation 1, the original NES, and then the Sega Genesis.
Mm-hmm. All
good.
Mega Drive.
Mega Drive.
Is Mega Drive? Mega
Yeah,
Drive,
the same console.
They're both the same console.
Yeah.
In good tier, we have DS/DSi. We have Atari 2600, the Wii, the 360, the original PSP, the original Xbox, a Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo 64, and a PlayStation 4. Average tier is Commodore 64, followed up by a PlayStation 3, the Master System, the Dreamcaster, PS Vita, mobile gaming, a Nintendo 3DS/2DS, and then Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Bad tier, we have the Sega Game Gear, the Sega Saturn, the Vectrex, and the Nintendo Wii U. And then we have, in a category all on its own, the N-Gage category, we have Nokia N-Gage.
Yeah, so
that's a solid list.
That is a solid list. I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah.
Well, I think that's us done for this week's podcast. So
we'll be back next week.
Christopher, joined with Sam and Nathan. This has been We Are Era. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. GMT/BST.
Cheers.
Cheers.